Investing in the stock market is a lot like placing a bet. Sometimes those bets pay off if an investor is lucky enough to buy low and sell high. But sometimes the risk can outweigh the reward, and things can go wrong, really wrong. That risk is magnified when an investor takes what is known as a short position in a stock. A short position is when an investor borrows shares at, say, $100 a piece, then immediately sells them on the open market in the hopes the price will go down. If all goes according to plan, when it's time to return those borrowed shares to the lender, the investor would buy the shares back from the market at a lower price than for which he or she originally sold them, let's say $50, and pockets the difference. But what makes shorting stocks risky is that if that $100 stock rises to, let's say, $150 per share, the investor has to account for that $50 rise when it's time to return those borrowed shares to the original lender. And there's no limit to how much money the investor can lose, depending upon how much the stock rises. And that's what happened to an E-Trade customer who shorted Calobios Pharmaceuticals on Wednesday in hopes the stock would decline by a few dollars a share. After placing a $37,000 short investment and assuming things would be quiet in after-hours trading, he took a long meeting at work and then went to bed. But by morning, the stock's price had risen to the tune of 800%, after the CEO of rival Turing Pharmaceutical gained control of a majority of the company's shares. Overnight, that investor's original $37,000 bet on a decline in Calobios shares turned into a $106,445 loss because of the steep run-up. So what's the lesson here? Due diligence goes a long way in investing. Schultz Asset Management CIO George Schultz tells MarketWatch, "There have been some great shorting opportunities over the years, but it requires a set of special abilities not to be burned, as this retail investor apparently was. We inevitably wind up having a huge edge over people who put down a lot of capital and walk away. There's something wrong with this. Not knowing what you are doing, and with no risk controls at all." But back to that E-Trade investor. He launched his own GoFundMe page to raise funds to help pay off his $106,000 debt. And despite receiving sympathy, he managed to collect about $5,000, after which he closed the page, thanked the donors, and wrote, "I will not be shorting stocks ever again."